Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos. It's been a minute, but with the new box, we finally have some new stuff to play, and this is going to be my first crack at Infernity. Now, I was very salty during the box opening because I had to buy the entire first box. I didn't get lucky early on, so I couldn't do any sort of early resets. And I actually want to shout out Pichu because she mentioned in my chat that you only needed one Infernity Archfiend, and I was like, yeah, but it's always going to be better to have three. You know, that's how most people are running it. But actually, this variant of the deck is so strong, and I want to show you. I have a second Infernity Archfiend. I don't need him. He actually clogs the deck if I put him in there. This is the exact amount of monsters I need. 3 Infernity Launcher is what's gonna make the deck work, or I should say 6 Infernity Launcher, because we have Infernity Mirage. Now this monster is insane. It cannot be special summoned from the graveyard if you have no cards in your hand, so same as every other Infernity card. You must control no card. You must have no cards in your hand. You can tribute this card to select 2 Infernity monsters in your graveyard, special summon those monsters. So it has to be 2. It's not like Launcher when you could choose to only summon 1. It has to be 2, but that's still insane because you can bring back Infernity Archfiend and Infernity Beetle over and over and over again, and just keep synchroning into level 6s. That's why our entire deck is going to be level 6s, apart for the Onimaru, which is actually our main win con. But yeah, all this deck tries to do is you want to survive until your second turn. Why is that important? Why is the second turn important? Because on the second turn we're able to activate this skill, and only on your second turn. So don't be a forehead like I did in a game where I was like, oh, I'll use it next turn. No, it must be used on your second turn. Discard up to 2 cards from your hand, then send an equal number of Infernity monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Now that is insane because basically all you need in your hand is either Infernity Launcher or Infernity Mirage, and you have the combo. That's all you need in your hand. So we have 6 cards that we want to draw into by turn 2, and then everything else doesn't matter because we're just going to dump it into the graveyard, and then that's going to let us send Infernity Beetle and Infernity Archfiend. That is actually why I don't want to run more Archfiends, because I have monsters that will draw cards, synchro monsters that I want to draw cards with, such as Stardust Charge Warrior and Coral Dragon when it's sent from the field to the graveyard. And I want to be able to use those cards immediately, so I want to be able to set them on the field and then go for another Infernity Launcher that I'm going to be searching with Archfiend, over and over again. I'm sure you guys are familiar, but basically Infernity Archfiend, when he gets special summon, you get to search an Infernity card from your deck. Infernity Launcher is going to allow you to summon 2 Infernity monsters from the graveyard, one of them being Infernity Archfiend, so then Archfiend can search for another Launcher, Launcher can do it again. You just keep searching and you keep gaining all this card advantage while dealing with your opponent's stuff. So the first thing I like to do is hit him with a Hate Ruinate or a Cosmic Cyclone, because back row, it's obviously going to stop us. It's enemy number 1 for this deck. We can deal with monsters all day long, but the back row is what's going to stop our combos. So yeah, we're going to use Hate Ruinate and Cosmic Cyclone to take care of the back row, and then we're going to go for a combo. Now in order to survive to turn 2, you're going to need some really good back rows. So my choices were 2 Canadia, triple Floodgate, and double Bad Aim. The reason why I don't want to put more Infernity Break is because my hand it's normally not empty until after I use my skill. So if I open up with multiple Infernity Break, I can't do anything with them. There's no point, setting them doesn't do anything for me, because not only do I need my hand to be empty, but I also need monsters in the graveyard. So I have one which I want to end up. My last search with Infernity Archfiend is going to be for Infernity Break, and then that's going to be protection if my opponent were to survive, but they never do. So I have Canadias, Floodgates, and then Bad Aim. Bad Aim is really strong against Witchcrafters. It's really the deck, the reason why I have Bad Aim in here, because it's just really strong against Witchcrafters. You set this at the end phase when they're adding cards back from the graveyard, they activate. You can Bad Aim their I forgot, their level 8, whatever its name is. Same goes for Floodgate Canada. I mean, these are just good cards all around. If you have Fiendish Chain would be really good. I just don't have Fiendish Chain on this. I have it on my free-to-play account, only enough, but not on this one. So for the extra deck, we have Coral Dragon. You can discard a card, destroy a card. He's also a tuner, so you can synchro using him and any other level 6 to go into Onimaru. And because you're synchro summoning the Onimaru using only synchro monsters, he becomes 6,000 during the damage. Is it damage calculation or damage step? Damage step only. So he becomes 6,000 attack, gets a 3,000 attack boost, and that's how you're gonna beat everybody. Because Coral Dragon is gonna destroy a monster if it's in the way. You can also use Brionac if you want to. You can use Vulcan the Divine. This card is really good because on summon you target Vulcan the Divine and you target an opponent's face-up card they control, and then you bounce both of them back. So that's gonna open up space again for you to use your Infernity Archfiend, and then go into another monster such as Stardust Charge Warrior. Draw into the card. If you need to use it with Coral Dragon, you do. If not, you set it. You get some more protection for follow-up. Saihima is just another good card to out monsters. You attack something and then you banish both of them. And the Onimaru obviously is the win con. I am super excited about this deck. I actually overplay this. I have a ton of replays, so we're not gonna watch them all. I'm just gonna randomly click because they're all gonna be very similar. The combo pretty much stays the same. So after explaining it on the first time, I'm just gonna let it go in the back row. And then I'll talk about its weaknesses. I got to Legend 5 with this. Oddly enough, before I had my third launcher, I was doing really well. And then the deck started to struggle. I wouldn't see my launchers, I wouldn't see my Mirage. And then I started playing Blue Eyes because I wanted to get King of Games with Blue Eyes. I ended up ranking down a little bit. But nonetheless, this deck, so good. Now right here is just me being a forehead. This was like legitimately my first or second go with this deck. I didn't know that my skill meant on my second turn. I thought it just meant from turn 2 onwards, because I didn't read. So that's why I summoned the Mirage in attack position. Normally you want to summon the Mirage or activate your launcher before you activate the skill, because they can respond to the skill. So say this is Dark Magician and I summon Mirage. If they don't banish the Mirage, I activate my skill and I'm going to be able to activate my Mirage before they can respond with a navigation, even if their toggle is on. So that's why I did this first, and then I was like, oh wait, I can't use my skill. Keck W. So we have a Canada, which is going to stop both of those searches. Thank you very much. Now he does get Sephiroth back, summons a Chris, but we have 100 life points and a Dream. We already have our Mirage in hand, which is what we need. Infernity Inferno, Sand Beetle, and Archfiend. Alright, and here's where the shenanigans start. Archfiend search for launcher. We already used our normal summon, so you can loop this up to 4 times. You can do launcher 3 times, and then you can do your Mirage 1 time, because it's gonna eat up your normal summon. But that's insane. That's how many times you can bring back Archfiend and search with it. There we go. Bring back Archfiend, search again. Alright, summon for Stardust Charge Warrior. Draw 1. We draw a Mirage, so we're going to use that with Coral Dragon to pop our opponent's monster. Now we have only more. We already have game here. We already have a game. The game is over. I attack over this. He's dead because I'm 6,200. But we're going to do some more. We pick up Infernity Break, activate launcher, set the break, bring back the Archfiend again. At this point, I didn't have 3 launcher. Otherwise, I would have gotten the 3rd launcher. As you can see, I was running a 2nd Archfiend in place. But it doesn't matter. I just needed a card in hand so I can go Brionac, bounce it back. 6,000 attack. I have nothing in my hand, so I also had Infernity Break to destroy anything I wanted during his turn. So good, man. So good. Let's see. So the main struggles that I saw with this deck, sometimes before I had my 3rd launcher, it was really, there were some duels where I wouldn't see Mirage or launcher. Even though I kept surviving, I wouldn't see it. And then my opponent would just, eventually out-resource me. Turn 1 Dark Magician is really tough because if they're competent and if you don't have your Hate Runade or your Cosmic Cyclone. But those are 4 cards, so I mean, you know, you're bound to see him in those matchups every once in a while. Same goes for Cyber Dragons, which is not a deck that you see a whole lot. The mirror match is interesting because we can actually stop them a lot with our back row. Oh, and speaking of back row, I don't have the barrier because I don't have the guy at level 40, but that's another card I would put in the deck if I had it. Alright, so once again, Coral Dragon. This guy doesn't have anything. We already used the Hate Runade, or I'm actually the Cosmic Cyclone to take care of his back row. So it's just gonna be same shenanigans. Synchro, level 12. Launcher, bring them both back. Get that Infernity break in case he has a Kiteroid and he can't survive, which he cannot. So we win. Alright, let's see. Let's see TCG Cray. Arcana. What does Arcana run normally? Witchcrafters? Is that what this is? I hope so. Oh, actually, I think this might be Darklords. No, this is the mirror match. So he goes Monster Gate. Look at this madman. Actually, I shouldn't have won this duel, but my opponent wanted the style on me and he screwed himself because he runs 3 Infernity Archfiend. There's some duels in which all of my monsters are in the graveyard, so it's safe for me to draw with Coral Dragon and Stardust Warrior because I know what I'm gonna draw into is a back row, and then I can just set it and, you know, keep looping my launcher. There's scenarios in which, you know, you could draw or top deck or whatever, and then it's something you can't use, you can't discard, you can't set, you can't do anything with, and then it just kills your effects as an Infernity player. So that's why I like running so few monsters, only the monsters I need. Now here's another way he could have won. He could have summoned, I mean, he could have activated both breaks, I'm assuming, and then you destroy both cards at the same time. But because he destroyed my Canadia first, when he activates the second one, I get my Canadia back. So now I have a body on the field. But sure enough, he's gonna top deck a monster, and I'm like, okay, I lose. I'm at 3000, attack, and he wins. Well, no. He goes Stardust Charge Warrior, draws into nothing, has to attack. We survive to our second turn, and then it's lights out for him. Infernity Mirage. He knows what's coming. He just scoops it up. Sorry, man. You should have taken the W when you had it. See what else we got. We're 13 minutes in. So, do I think this is the best Infernity variant there is out there? I don't know. It's the only one I've played. I don't have Barrier and I don't have 3 Break to play that variant. However, I believe this is the most accessible one since you legitimately only need 1 Infernity Archfiend. The third launcher, it's pretty important, but you know, I did well without it. I feel like I'm doing better now that I have the third one, but still. So unfortunately for me, my opponent has Pulse Mines, which means no matter what we do, we won't be able to finish him off this turn. But we're gonna send a Mirage, activate launcher, bring him back. I'm speeding it up because it's the same thing. Archfiend is gonna search for launcher, summon the Coral, bring him back, search again. This time we're gonna search a Mirage because we have not normal summon yet. So we're gonna summon it, loop it again, get one last search for Infernity Break, and look at our field. We're not able to OTK. We have an Onimaru that cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it's also 6000 attack even though he's in defense position. We have a Psyhemed, which if he attacks we can banish whatever he attacks us with. Canadia, Cosmic Cyclone, and Infernity Break. That's insane. That's an insane turn too. He goes Coral Dragon. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy that with Infernity Break. Sure, my man, get a draw, that's fine. Cyclone your back row. Destroy both monsters. And GG. We also sniped a double magical armbind, which would have sucked if had he been able to activate it. What else we have? We got 2 more. I think we'll watch this 2. I think in total I've shown at least 5, maybe even more, so the video is not super long. Duel. I believe this was a Darklord matchup, and I got very lucky here because I was able to banish their Sanctified, but that's just me paying attention to what's happening on screen, right? So it's gonna go charge the Light Brigade. Alright, sends 2 banishment to the graveyard. Goes for banishment, it's gonna add a Nastin. Now he probably feels the delay here, so he's protecting his contract. It discards it instead of trying to activate it. So we're gonna floodgate the Nastin immediately. He's gonna go for Amdus, which is fine. Amdus is gonna search for the Sanctified, and I thought I was in trouble here. I was like, oh, he's gonna Eggshell and then he'll have 1 negate during my turn, right? We know he has Sanctified Darklord. We know he has a Raiden, and he only sets 1 back row. Obviously that's the Sanctified. We banish it, we survive turn 2, we have our Mirage. Lights out. Go for the loops. Yep. Get that launcher. Activate launcher, Coral Dragon, search again. Another launcher. Summon Stardust. Discard the launcher to destroy the Amdus. Okay. Draw again. And I had 2 more loops to get to, but he surrendered before I could do it. It do be like that. Next we have Boy. I should say, finally we have Boy. This is a Blackwing. I also got kind of lucky against this Blackwing player. He didn't have Synchro Place, but you will see with my back row that we would have been able to take care of it anyway. So it's gonna go Whirlwind, set a card, summon Gale, search for Zephyr, and then special summon the Zephyr. Alright, so we're gonna double set. Alright, activate the Canadian on the Gale. We don't need to take all that damage. And now we can Hatronade and win. Again, you just need either a Mirage or Infernity Launcher in your hand, and then you got the loops. Set the bad aim, so actually it was a Canadian, right? No, it's a bad aim. Set the bad aim. Launcher again. That's launcher number 2, I believe. Oh, that was number 2. Okay, yeah, I'm going too fast. Jesus. Alright, so we got a Floodgate now, we have Infernity Break, and we have a bad aim. Psychemoth, even if he were to survive this, I mean, what is he going to do against all these back row? And a 6,000 attack beater that he can't Raikiri because he cannot be destroyed by card effect. Yeah, this deck is a ton of fun, man. It does require some practice, but I mean, the combo is honestly not that hard. You just got to remember to keep your hand full, so to speak, for the skill. If you only need to dump one thing, like if you start off with Archfiend and you don't want to just leave an open field, you can summon him and you can set it, and then just know that all you have to do is discard 1 to send Beetle to the graveyard. But yeah, super fun deck. Hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And until next time.